Hello guys, in this video we'll learn to interact with DOM document object model from Dioxus using Rust. Basically, Dioxus makes it easy for us to build cross-platform reactive user interface. However, there are some cases where we may need to break out of the reactive paradigm and interact with the DOM directly. So in this video, we'll understand how can we interact with the DOM directly from Dioxus. This video will also be helpful if you are looking to build some complex canvas UI. So make sure you stick around and watch till the end. Now as we start, there is a link to my Discord in description. We are building a community of like-minded people, so make sure you join it. So first of all, move to the project explorer and make sure you are in a nice and clean Dioxus project. Now if you are someone new to my channel and watching this as your first video of Dioxus or cross-platform development series, and you're not quite sure how can you reach here and you can add your project structure, there is a whole playlist on my YouTube channel for cross-platform development. Consider watching that. There should be some videos popping on your right top, so make sure you click it, watch it before moving on to this one. So here we'll just move to our main RS and we'll just remove everything that's default and start with pretty basic. We'll just try to get the domain itself, and then we'll move to the canvas UI. So let's see how can we access the DOM. So in our first hands-on example, let's build a pretty simple component where we try to inject a bit of JavaScript and evaluate it to get our domain name. So let's say we have a straightforward component, demo we call it, and it returns an element just like any other Dioxus component. And on top we can add component rsx, and then let's say a div, and then we have a p tag that says domain name and span, and right here we'll just inject our signal. So domain name and use signal string u as the initial one, and then we'll just inject the domain name here. And after the p tag, let's say we have a button that says read domain, and on click of this button we'll just go ahead and move async move, and right here we'll just add domain name dot set and document and eval. Now eval, you can pass some script, so basically evaluate some JavaScript in the current document. So what happens is once your UI is rendered, your component is rendered, let's say on click I go ahead and I can just modify or run some JavaScript to modify my component document or whatnot. So let's say right here what we do is we just evaluate this return document dot domain, and then we await and unwrap and string. So that just goes ahead and set our domain name, and let's put this one the bottom. So we have our button, we have our span, we have our p tag. Pretty basic component, nothing fancy. You just click a button, you get domain name. So let's go to our terminal and we demo it for a couple of platforms, maybe desktop and mobile, or web or mobile, up to you guys. So I'll just do it for desktop and mobile. Dioxus platform as desktop, So here you go, the first look of our basic demo component. We click our read domain button, and as you can see, it says index.html. That's where it's currently being rendered. We are just rendering index.html, our file. So it says index.html, and similarly we can do on mobile as well. So back to our ID and mobile, we maybe will build for our other component, the canvas component, since this is pretty straightforward, so you might understand and run it as well. So let's remove this and go to the canvas component. So demo, and we have our element. So component and RSX. So let's add a pretty straightforward component first. We have a div, inside we have a h3 that says canvas playground, and then we have canvas, and we have id as drawing canvas, and then we have some style. So it says border as 2px, solid black. Now first of all, let's get a demo of this on desktop, and then we'll understand why do we need to interact with DOM in such a component, and then do the interaction part. To our terminal, pretty straightforward, and we just run this. So here you guys can see we have our canvas playground, and then we have our canvas component. Now let's say inside this canvas component we want to add some events for mouse click or mouse drag, and we want to draw some lines. We want to make this UI a bit more interactive. Then we have to break out of this reactive paradigm of Dioxus and directly interact with DOM. So let's see how can we interact now. So back to our ID, and let's say in this canvas component we want to add the feature of drawing a line, and we will achieve this by interacting with DOM with some JS. And how do we do this? Let's dive into it. So first of all, we will have a JS code as a string and a multi-line, since we want to care for formatting. So we'll add here in a bit, and then we can use effect. And what we can do in use effect is basically do the interaction with the DOM once our component is rendered. So move, and what I want to do here is document eval again to pass our script, and our script is this JS code. So it would just go ahead, and whatever our JS code is, it just does the JS thing for us and helps us draw a line. Now as you might know that to achieve this we would require some event handlers for mouse, for mobile as well, because Dioxus on mobile is rendered as a web view as we speak, as of Dioxus 06. So we might need a separate touch events for that. So let's see how can we achieve this. Now either we can write our JS code here, or you can move to our Explorer and maybe add a demo.js file, and we get the support of autocomplete and syntax checker here, and then we copy our JS code to here and then just run, or we can also read the file. So first of all, let's add our functionality here. So here, first of all, let's try to access our canvas. So const canvas and document dot get element by id, and here we pass the id, which is the id of our canvas. So trying canvas. Now as I mentioned in the start, that this thing is rendered first and then the use effect comes into play. So it would already find our element on the UI, and then const canvas dot get context, and we try to get 2D, and then let is drawing as false. Let's start x is equals to 0. Let's start y to keep a check of our start end for x and y. Now we have the function for get touch points or touch position, canvas, and touch event const and canvas dot get bounding client right. Now const touch as touch event dot touch is 0 or touch event dot changed touches of 0, and then we return x as touch dot client x minus rect dot left. This is just for positioning purposes, nothing fancy here. Touch dot client y rect dot top. So this is to get the position, and then we add a bunch of event handlers. So canvas dot add event listener. So we name this mouse down and event. So here, once the mouse down, we want to set is drawing as true, which is the variable we have, and then we register the start and end start x and start y. So event dot offset x, and similarly start y as event dot offset y. Similarly, we will also have the touch events listener as well, because we want to add the same code for our mobile as well. So touch start and event, and right here again, first of all is drawing as true, and then we get the touch position, get touch position, pass the canvas and event. So start x would be your touch position dot x, start y would be your touch position dot y. Remember, this is the same function that we just add in the start, which is right here, and it returns x and y. Then once we have this, we'll just do event dot prevent default to prevent any scrolling, and similarly we have canvas dot add event listener. Now we want to show the line as we move the mouse, like literally as we move, so that's why we have mouse move. Otherwise you can also do it on mouse end. So basically once the line the move is ended, only then you can show the line, but I want to show it straight away into the face as we move. So what we do here is if drawing, then we want to const and x as event dot offset x, then const and y is equals to event dot offset y, ctx dot begin path, and ctx dot move to start x, start y, ctx dot line to and end x and y. So basically to move the line and stroke, and then start x is equals to end x, and start y is equals to end y. So this is for mouse move. Similarly we'll add for touch move. So canvas dot add event listener, touch move and event. Remember, if you want to do for just desktop and web, you don't need to add the touch events. This is purely for mobile. If is drawing, then const touch position, get touch position, canvas and event, and const and x as touch position x, const and y as touch position y, and begin path to draw the line, ctx dot move start x, start y, and ctx dot line 2 and x and y, and ctx dot stroke start x is equals to end x and start y is equals to end y. And then we will just do event.prevent default to again prevent any kind of scrolling. So we have our touch move and mouse move events. Now we'll just add some events to disable drying. Like right now we have just set the drying to true when we start. So similarly, when mouse up or touch up or touch and touch cancel, we want to cancel it as well. So canvas, add event listener, and we'll just say mouse up, and if it's mouse up, we would just want to do is drawing as false. Similarly, you can just copy this and add for touch end. Similarly, you can just copy this and add for mouse leave. Mouse leave. Similarly, you can just copy this and add for touch cancel. So that's literally all that we need to do in our JS. So just to reiterate, what we are just trying to do is interact with the document directly and allow our canvas to add this feature of drawing a line on canvas. And we do this with JS. Now, if you have ever worked on JS, you might think, hey, with Dioxus using this thing, it opens endless possibilities of how complex component you can work with. You can use existing packages as well, which we'll see in another video. But in this video, we'll just stick with this. And now either you can just read your file as a string and pass it along here in your JS code, or you can just copy everything from here and move here and just paste it. That's literally all that you need to do, and this would be passed as a script to your document and evaluate it. So once you start drawing, it will automatically draw it for you. So first of all, let's get a demo of desktop, and then we'll also look at the mobile app. So let's serve on the desktop, and there you go, our canvas UI. But now if we drag, as you can see, it draws. If we drag, it draws. So how does this happen is from our mouse click events from JS. So basically our Dioxus is kind of interacting with the DOM directly and making this happen for us in vanilla JS. So pretty straightforward. Now let's do the same on mobile and try to see our touch events. So our simulator is up and running, and now let's run this for iOS. So we simply do dxserve on iOS. And there you go, our app is launched on our iOS device. And let's test our touch events. There you go, as you can see, as we draw in the canvas, it clearly shows the interaction with the DOM and does it for us by basically listening to the touch events or whatever we want to do. So as you can see, it works pretty well. So that's for this video, guys. I hope you guys learned something new, something exciting. If you do, like the video, share with your friends. I'll catch you guys when we work on more complex stuff on this channel, as we always do. So make sure you are tuned. Goodbye.